Great, thank you. Thank you very much. People ask me, my first thing is, how did I ever get started with books? I've been knitting it feels like all my life. I was a late bloomer. I was 22. And I went to New York to dance, so I took up knitting. I've published the first 5 books were with Martingale, Lily, and I was published co with Cheryl Tease, who is the woman who I really am indebted to. She was the woman that kept saying, because I just kept designing and designing, that's all I do. I never knew how to. I always designed everything myself because I didn't know how to read a pattern. I didn't want to read a pattern, and half the time never quite knew what I was doing until I got done. And then I'd have to, get all my little notes and all my pieces of scrap paper that I had all over the place to try to put it into a pattern. And she kept saying, I can pick up those pieces, I can do that. So this is our first book, basically Brilliant Knits, which was really a beginner's book. It's for the beginner. It's quick, big needle sweaters, 5 different sizes. And we learned a tremendous amount on this book. And then the whole scarf craze happened 3 years ago. And after the first Little Box of Scarves, which is actually, I think, in its 6th reprint now, so it's doing phenomenally well, we came up with the Little Box of Scarves 2. And then Perfectly Brilliant Knits is more of an intermediate book, taking fun basics. I went into more pattern stitching, a little bit more intricate. So then I decided to make these 2, which is a children's series, or a By Melissa series, which is an envelope that opens up and has the cards so that they're the same concept as the scarves, carry-alongs with a pattern on the back. They're simple enough to follow because the pattern actually has to fit into this. There's only one, which is the cowboy, which actually takes up 2 sheets. And it's basically because there is an entire cowboy riding a horse in the back, so that itself is a separate grid. And it's mixed from really, beginner to advanced. It really is probably 2/3 beginners, but there are some more challenging steps. The concept actually started when Cheryl, who made the piggies and brought these into the yarn shop, because she'd always entertain me, and I just about had a heart attack and flipped out and said, I have people wanting to get these in the adult sizes, so the leaflet is coming out because everybody wants one of these in the adult. So I went home and I got really excited, and I had to make her back, so we kind of did this, and I made the pig. Was an over-exaggerated tail, and then at 6 in the morning, I couldn't wait to run to go to the craft shops to try to find to make sure that he made noise, which you can't exactly put off on a card. So this was the start of the animals. Then came the zebra, which I could make one of these a week. The whole book of the rabbit, and then we want to do the giraffe, and it's endless possibilities. And she had a little red bow and a little red hair, and it's just another cute onesie, which started the last with the little sheep with the little button too. So that then was the whole start of saying, you know what, I need to do a kid's book, and how this whole thing came about. And then when I realized that when I started counting how many I actually had enough to separate them, so that Babies to Toddlers is 6 months to 2 years, and then Toddlers to Tots is 1 year to 6 years. But once you start getting the more and more you knit, the more and more you realize it really is math. And it's taking the stitch gauge, taking the numbers, and figuring out how to make. I actually wanted, if I had enough time, to make the piggy that I would have personally worn here. I think it'd be an absolute great outfit with a little tail, except I wanted to find a big snout. But I wanted to wear it down the runways of the TNA show that we went to last month, which is where the wholesalers go to show their goods to the retailers. So anybody wants to knit me a pig, I'd be honored to wear it. But it's a lot of stockinette. So I'm working right now on a book with Random House that is going to be 36 garments. It's divided into 12 chapters, and it's going to be 1 sweater 3 ways. I don't know how we're going to name them. I'm going to New York this week, because then we're working on the layout and the colors and the fonts and all the fun stuff. But this was a sweater that I designed. I thought it was, but one of those is a halter of one of those that I said Madonna should wear. Who can wear it? So when we designed the same kind of piece, but the bag is all the way up so that you can wear support, and push-ups, and it's really, really attractive. And then we came out with the same, but the jacket's got 3 panels to a jacket. So that's kind of the theme of what the book is going to be. It's going to be one concept, 3 ways.
Melissa, what was the first thing that you ever made?
That I do remember, actually. And it was a coat. And the sleeves were so huge that I tied, and I bunched it in and made this huge, like, leg of mutton sleeve, because I wasn't about to, I never rip. I always have to figure out what I can turn something into. And most of my best pieces are my mistakes. Or when I run out of yarn, and it forces me to go outside the box. I think I've got to be able to do something with it. I can't rip it. And I think a lot of that I've, taught my students, because it's the same thing of if you make something, too wide, you can bind off the middle, pleat it, now you've got a design, and you're at the shape, at the shape you want, or you can ruffle it to the point where you want it, or a jacket concept. But this would be, as I was saying, if you made something too long, then hike it up. We did that we had a customer, I think it started with Darcy, when she had just this tunic that was done in like a heavy layer. It kept going, so I thought, oh, what a great idea, I'll knit that. Then I had, because I thought this was going in the book, to do the same concept, only in 2 really contrasting colors, and as a sweater, playing with colors, another thing I love to do. This is one, which is actually what I'm wearing, which is actually because of every woman in their shoes, ladies. Yes. Very important. I started with the shoes. A sweater came next. That happens a lot. I think I'm like 90% of you that when DSW came in here, I thought, oh no, I'm in trouble. So, same concept, same sweater, same pattern. Different colorway, different shape. Make sense? So this is just your V-neck cardigan that you can use. It's knit side to side, so it works. Just put it on. But it's this exact same pattern.
Start with the sleeve?
Start with the sleeve. So from here to here is the little shrug. Which if you take off the little shrug is, see, once I get going, I don't stop, this is actually a square. So it's what you can do inside a square. So it's taking any of the formats, any of the lace patterns, and that's where the book that's coming out next will describe and have more and more detail of. We have another shrug that's with long sleeves and a lace pattern that can be the lace pattern for the tunic, or the cardigan, or the t-shirt, and trying to combine the 36 patterns, so it'll really be like 136 patterns. If I can get what I'm trying to get up here into words, not so easy. It's like anytime you see a turtleneck, I think I can't wear turtlenecks. A turtleneck could always be a removable neck. It doesn't even have to be attached. You can follow the sweater pattern, just do a single crochet around it, follow any of the necks, and so it can be a neck or not. So there you already have it on any pattern. You can do that. Any V-neck can become a shawl neck. And it's actually, when you break it down, it's more the reading and the lingo that I think scares everybody when you start reading the Y-O-R-E-M-C-O. And if it's spelled out and you break it down, knitting's fun and simple. And do we have any beginners that want to learn how to knit? I actually bought knitting needles.